Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Don's Hot Rock Garage. Big Don with you. So I got a cool little treat to show you guys that are into the Tri-5 Chevys. And me specifically, 55 is my favorite year, but I do like them all. But like for me, like the V8 first was put into the 55 Chevy, and I know that they had them back in like 1918 or something like that. But for me, 55 and the V8 was like the first significant part of propelling Chevrolet into the performance world. So just my opinion. But let's check out what I got. So it's been a real sleepy, rainy, totally gray, overcast day today, and I haven't been able to. This is my 55 Chevy convertible. When we get stretches of weather like this, you just leave them alone. And I know it looks bad in the video, but if I peeled that cover off right now, that thing would be bone dry. I promise. I'm a pro at it. But it's Sunday, maybe the October the 28th, possibly. That sounds right. But I really need some good weather, because this front end right here, it just keeps getting rained on it. It's just driving me friggin' nuts. And I feel like I should sit it back on the car, but then I'm gonna have to take it back off to put the engine in. So then I need some dry days where I can pull these cars out to where I can make some action happen. But one thing cool about this 56 Nomad, when my brother had it, he put the Mad Mooks liftgate shocks on it. That's what's holding up the back glass. It's like a stainless steel or aluminum gas strut. But the bad thing about a Mad Mooks liftgate is there's no in between. See how it's all the way up? Now, if you had your original lift supports, you could set it to where it was like more parallel with the roof, if that makes sense. There's two settings on the original ones, but my buddy from here on YouTube sent me these killer 55 to, I guess, 59 Chevy chrome script valve covers, Chevrolet, and I just love them, and I appreciate it very much, Dan. I really do. Dan's Tri-5 Garage. I hope that's right, or he's gonna kill me. I'm pretty sure that is Dan's Tri-5 Garage. I know he changed his name to, I believe, Dan's Tri-5 Garage. But anyways, if it's wrong, Dan, I apologize. You know, we're buddies, and I'll get you them bumper caps out as soon as I can, the deluxe bumper guards off that 56 Nomad. But I really appreciate them valve covers. And man, how can you not love a 55 Chevy louvered hood? It's freaking killer. But this right here, this item right here, is the elephant in the room. This thing is so freaking scarce. And what makes, sorry, I had to come real close to it, but what makes this air cleaner so unique is it's very early production 1955 Chevy V8 Power Pack 4-barrel. And you could see the round snout on it. That's what this air cleaner is referred to as, the round snout air cleaner. Later production 55 and then 56 and 57 on, this tube right here would have been real skinny and much more wider and flat. I have a 57 one, but it's up top where I can't show you right now. But it would basically be a flatter pipe, much wider, much flatter, and then comes out to a flat opening. But look at the original decal on it. I mean, that's all original paint on this thing. I don't know where my new best friend Pete found this at, but it is a killer piece. So this is considered the round snout air cleaner, and there's not a lot of information out there. I guess there's some books on 55 that I might have to pick up, but For me, I like to learn about it firsthand, you know, actually touching the stuff and finding it in its natural element. But what they say is from October to December of 1954, when they was making the 55 Chevy, this was the air cleaner they used. Now, another place I read said that they ran this up to early 57, or not 57. They ran this up to early February of 1955. So from October 1954 to February of 1955. But some say they only ran it to December. So with this unique air cleaner also comes a unique carburetor that actually, it's a bell crank, where this is pulled back and it shoves this forward at the same time, to where this is actually your throttle. So this goes back and that goes forward to make it all work. And it has a tag up here. Let's see here. See, that's a 2218S. That's a 2218 carburetor. So they call this the bell crank carburetor, and it matches the round snout air cleaner. Them was the two pieces for this is like your two pieces of very early GM Chevrolet performance. I mean, you're coming off of a world where in 1954 all the Chevys was 6-cylinders, and then in 1955 they offered the V8, and then still most of them was 2-barrel. So to have an early bell crank 22, what did I say it was? 2218, and then look, there's the date code, April 5. And if we look at the date on the intake, that's D. We're looking at it upside down. D for April 14th, 1955. And this carburetor with this intake come off the engine out of that convertible. So, I had found this on eBay and gave pretty good money for it. I see them going for 2-3 times as much, but I was so concerned with anything happening to it that me and my wife actually traveled all the way to get it, pick it up in person. I mean, you could see it's just, and it even had the correct little stud with the wing nut. And like, if you're just like into old cars, but you don't really, I don't know, study them as well as I do, this might not be interesting to you. But for me, like, this is the birth of the small block Chevy V8. And without this setup right here, we could never have the beloved LS engine. Because if we don't remember, the LS engine started life in a 1997 Corvette. So anyways, this is the newer style carburetor. This is a 2351. And you see it's got the more common throttle up here. So this is actually the 265 out of my 55 convertible. So I put them really cool chrome valve covers on here that Dan sent me. And that other carburetor is pretty rough. I don't know if it can be hot tanked and cleaned, but we'll try it. And I'd like to run it on this engine in that 55 convertible, where when you pop the hood, it's got the early setup on it. Excuse me, because what I did with this engine, I tried to hop it up a little bit, but it's still like something you would have seen in the late 50s. It's a factory power pack engine, but it's been bored 30 over. And these are actual real power pack heads, but these are the first year for the power pack heads. Them are 1956 power pack heads, and obviously it's got ram horn manifolds, which started in 57. Some 56s had them, but they had 2 bolts on the downpipe instead of 3, like what we're used to seeing. So anyways, that was like a mega score right there. Believe it or not, we got it Friday, And I let that sucker right there sit in my patio where I could just glance over and look at it. That's like such a cool piece to me. I've known about them for a long time, but you know, you wouldn't believe they asked $1,500 out of them air cleaners. And it's kind of like a big old gangly air cleaner. But that's just how it was in 55, you know. It's an oil bath air cleaner. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that little one-on-one on the 55 Chevy. But that's, for me, that's where it all started from. And now I'm walking back out of the garage. Looking to see where my old puppy is, because it's starting to rain yet again. You know, guys, when it gets cold and damp and gloomy and things like that, I have a hard time getting motivated. So I just now finally ate a big old sub and decided I'd walk that air cleaner out there and do a small video. But that's the super rare piece I was telling you in the last video. And I mean, even at the steep price that some people want at $1,500, you'd be surprised. You might, in your lifetime, you might only see one or two of them. That's the first one I've ever seen in person, and I pulled the money right out. So anyways, now I gotta shove this one back in, get the garage door shut. See the old boy over there, he's hobbling along. But anyways, thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage. Whether you think that old round snout air cleaner stopped in December or February, let me know, because that intake is dated early April of 1955, and that carburetor was on that intake, and that carburetor matches that air cleaner. It's all part of the early power pack setup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Just a small little piece of 55 Chevy trivia. There's another thing that I don't even care to find, but there's rumors that real early 55 Chevys had metal backed headlights, but that's not something I'd look for. Catch you guys on the next video.